And then I will share my screen and we can kind of get into the presentation. And feel free to stop me if there are any questions. Okay, does everyone see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So just to recap, we just wanted to give an opportunity to introduce ourselves, GCB Medical, and kind of give you a little bit of background about who we are, then run through the features and benefits of the safety socks. So we're very excited for this opportunity to trial our safety socks at Bon Secours Mercy Health. Thank you for the time. So GCB Medical Supply is a nationally certified woman-owned company. We specialize in manufacturing high-quality medical products for providers, patients, and the planet. So just a little bit about us. We pride ourselves on our resiliency model and ensuring our customers have a dependable flow of high-quality products. So from our 90-day customer committed stockpile, which holds 90 days of inventory at our warehouse for every contracted customer, to our multi-zip code manufacturing model, we have multiple safeguards in place to ensure that there are no disruptions to our health system partners and ultimately to you and your patients and the end users. So this is our why. GCB stands for Georgia Claire Bowen. Georgia is the fourth child of our founder and CEO, Kate Bowen. Georgia was born unexpectedly in heart failure, and at 4 months old, she was the recipient of a heart transplant. Today, she is 6 and thriving. But when she was in the hospital, Kate worked with Boston Children's Hospital and co-developed the Georgie, which is an innovative take on a traditional hospital Johnny. So the Georgie acts as a wearable securement device or garment for some of the peripheral components of clinical care. So the design allows for easier access to more IV lines, feeding tubes, pads, etc. And while Kate was working with Boston Children's on the Georgie, the COVID pandemic was hitting and hospitals across the nation started to experience a shortage in critical PPE. And so Boston Children's actually reached out to Kate to help source PPE. And Kate was kind of in a unique position to help because her background is that she's been in the medical industry for nearly 20 years. And that coupled with a career in entrepreneurship and manufacturing, she was really in the position to know how to quickly validate factories, both domestic and overseas, and source the med-surg products. So everything from masks to gowns to gloves, and GCB was really born out of that. One thing I just wanted to kind of hit on about GCB is one of our core tenets of our organization is philanthropy. So we're on a mission to help make heart transplant a cure and not just a gift of time. And since 2020, GCB has actually donated over 1.2 million to advance groundbreaking cardiac research for heart transplant recipients. Obviously, that is our core philanthropic focus inspired by our namesake, Georgia. But in addition to that, cardiac research, we're also committed to elevating women and children in the communities where we work. So we partner with our health systems on things like back to school drives, donating backpacks, school supplies, clothing donations. And that work extends globally as well. We have set up scholarship programs in our South American factories to support the women and their children. So doing things like creating a scholarship program for our factory in Paraguay, where we provided a private school education for the children. We would bus them to school each day, make sure they had a nutritious lunch, and bus them back while their mothers were working in the factories. And then we're setting up another scholarship in a factory in Cartagena, Colombia, that we are establishing to help the women there learn English. But we do a lot with our local and national health system partners. And I just mentioned that, if given the opportunity, we would love to help support the areas around Bon Secours Health as well. So that's just a brief overview of GCB. I don't know if there's any questions about the company before I just get into the safety socks. Okay. So you will be trialing both our traditional double tread safety socks as well as our crew safety socks. So our traditional socks are probably somewhat similar to what you're using today, which is, I believe, is a Medline sock. These are customizable. The color can be customized. But our socks are a blend of polyester and spandex. The fabric is comfortable. It's thick. It really is comfortable for the patients. It provides warmth. These are latex free. We have a range of sizes. Increased non-skid treads, again, on both sides of the sock. I have an example here as well. These traditional socks, I will say too, they come in, they're packaged in individual pairs. So all of our socks are packaged in individual pairs. And I just want to highlight that because the sample products you received 15 pairs of every sock that was requested. But they're not packaged in the individual bags, which they would be. So when these are in production, they come in individual bags with 2 socks, a pair of socks. But our traditional have the sizing right on them, as you see in the picture here of the yellow sock. And then we will provide a size chart as well. Those are size charts will be in the sample boxes that you receive, so that you can gauge the right size to provide to patients based on shoe size. Our crew safety socks are kind of a more innovative design. So similar features and benefits to the traditional, but the elastic around the ankle, it kind of prevents the sock from twisting, and there's a place for the heel. So kind of more, if you think of your common athletic crew sock, that's really like the design of our crew. And we've had great success with these because they don't move on the patient's foot. And one of the other things we've heard about these socks is that they're an easier application when used over compression stockings. So for the crew socks, again, a range of sizes, and we will provide a sizing chart that's in the box that you received with the samples of the size you requested. It just helps to indicate what size you should select based on the patient's age or shoe size. And so these run from toddler all the way up to bariatric, which is the equivalent of a 3 to 5 XL. And it has a larger ankle circumference as well. Any questions on the traditional or the crew? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. I'll keep going. If you think of anything, please stop me.
I will. So I do have one quick question, not so much necessarily for you, Jen, but like for Andrea and Casey. So in this evaluation, we have both. Are we looking to standardize to one different type or just kind of getting feedback for all? Just want to clarify, as we have 2 different styles, if there's a preference to which one, or we're just kind of getting feedback on everything.
The evaluation is set up for both socks, the tradition and the crew. So GCB can provide both styles of socks. So it would actually be up to the facility which sock they would like to have in their inventory, or if they would like both. We have not limited just to one style.
Okay, thank you.
Would this replace our current socks or be an additional option?
This will replace.
Okay, thanks.
Great questions, thank you. So then I just wanted to share just some of our key reference accounts. We have small, medium, large medical centers, including academic medical centers across the nation. These are some of them, a lot of which use our safety socks, and a lot of which use the crew safety socks is just when they've trialed them, what they have preferred. But if there are additional questions or references needed, we can certainly provide them. So just to kind of hit on what is provided and the sample boxes that we shipped. So the sizes were requested are specific to the sites and what they asked for, but there's 15 pairs of every sock that was requested. So just using Memorial Regional as an example, for the traditional safety socks, the double tread, there were 15 yellow and 15 blue pairs in size large, and then 15 yellow and 15 blue pairs for the double XL. And then same for crew, they requested large and double X, so that you're going to get 15 of each yellow and blue. And then we did include some printed materials that I think are helpful for your clinicians to post. And again, especially around maybe the sizing chart. So you'll have a large poster that includes the sizing chart that you can place maybe in the stock room or wherever your clinicians will be grabbing socks from. And we created some table tents as well that you can easily just put together and post either in the break room or the nurse's station, and then some postcards with contact information in case anyone has questions throughout, they can reach out. Any questions around the trial samples that were mailed out? We did check tracking, so they have arrived at all of the sites. And so I know it can take a while to, get to the particular trial site if it's going into one central mailing location, but hopefully they will grab them this week and can start the trial on Monday. We did designate the trial time frame would run up to 2 weeks. So, if you run through your samples before then, I think that's okay. But it should be enough if you wanted to stretch it out over 2 weeks to evaluate that you could. So we're looking at a trial timeline starting Monday, which is June 24th through Friday, July 5th. And then Andrea and Casey, if there are no other questions for me, I'd love for you to just kind of touch upon the plan if you've already finalized it in terms of evaluations and how you will collect those from the teams.
So the evaluation will go live. It's listed in Lemire as slipper socks. I will be sending out the link and the QR code on Monday morning when it's generated. We will have a 2-week window to collect as much information as possible on the actual evaluation forms. Please have them submit them so that we can collect the data. We are on a timeline. We would like to be able to present the results to the Falls Committee on July the 18th. They moved it, July the 8th. And then present it to the market CNOs on July the 18th. So we have a timeline that's set up. Conclusion would be July 5th, moving forward to Falls Committee, moving forward to the market CNOs. So we just want to make sure that we get as much information on those forms, evaluation forms, as possible so that we can present this new product to our committees. Are there any questions for me? Casey, did you have anything you would like to add?
No, just as you guys are collecting the feedback, as we've always mentioned, if you could provide, get as much details as possible, so we can provide that feedback back to GCB on the results of the evaluation, that will be greatly appreciated.
And the evaluation that you will receive, you have where information can be added. So the details are very important, but the way it's set up now, there is room for you to add any details that you have to reference to the socks.
Okay, great. So just the other thing I'll mention is we are always available. So if questions do come up, please don't hesitate to reach out, whether you want to email me directly or route your questions through Andrea or Casey. But my contact information is on the postcards that will be in the sample packs. So don't hesitate to email or call if something comes up. Or even if you lose some pairs of socks and you need some more, we'll ship them right out. So just let us know. Okay. Any other questions before we wrap up?
I don't have any questions, but I did receive samples, and I did get probably almost all of the sizes in both styles, and they're very, very nice. Mine were individually packaged, each one in its own individual bag, but they're very nice.
Great.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm biased, but I love our socks. I think they're high quality, and the crew socks are great, the traditional as well. So we look forward to hearing the team's feedback.
Do they come in the color purple?
Yes, so the colors are customizable.
Okay, we will have some very excited units about the color purple. Awesome.
Yeah, I will say, and I mentioned this to Casey and Andrea, and it's something we can discuss post-trial. We do typically recommend across a system your size to try to standardize colors as much as possible, especially if you're pulling from one central distribution center. It's helpful. Just as an example, we have one large health system that chose blue, and then they chose yellow for fall prevention. So just something to keep in mind, but that's not to say that we can't create additional colors. Choose a color and we can make it.
Yes, and St. V's and St. Mary's, please, please, please make sure that the children, toddler sizes be evaluated, because that's important to us to see if they're needed throughout our ministry.
Yep, they're gonna get their socks tomorrow, Andrea.
Thanks, Dennis. I don't have anything else. Anyone else?
No, I am all good. Thanks for everyone attending. I hope this was helpful. If you had any questions, you can contact Andrea and myself, or if you need to contact Jen, we can make sure you have the information.
Okay. Great, thank you. It was so nice meeting all of you. We're very excited about this trial, so thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Take care.
Hi, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank